Moving on now, in our next story, the popular Nigerian prophet Chukwuemeka Ohanaemere, widely known as Odumeje or Indaboski, has announced his intention to contest the 2027 presidential election. Now, in a viral video, the founder of the Mountain of Holy Ghost Intervention and Deliverance Ministry declared his ambition during a church sermon, emphasizing the need for a young and tech-savvy leadership in Nigeria. However, he has not disclosed details about his political party affiliation or any sort of tangible campaign strategy. I will say that this is absolutely hilarious. We have serious coalition governments right now taking place. People are defecting. People are creating coalitions and strategic alliances against 2027. And here you have this man on one side of the country declaring his ambition, thinking that the political landscape is a thing to be played with. But let me hear what you guys have to say. Sorry, let's take a look at what he has to say.
We need a young leader in this country. And I think I'm coming out. We need a young leader in this country as a president, a digital leader.
A digital leader. I'm going to take a look at social media. Guys, this is hilarious. Sunday says, Indaboski for president, this election cycle just got more interesting. This is absolutely hilarious. I wonder if he's going to use miracles and his power of Indaboski to actually make the country better or put tangible policies in place. But before I move on to my co-anchors, I'd like to ask you guys to please chime in on the conversation. Do you think you have an interesting perspective you'd like to share with us? Please tag us with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise you that we are listening. Indaboski for president, guys, where do we even begin to dissect this conversation?
Oh, Indaboski for president. What? Just think about it. Just think about it. That will be. Well, for the first time, I'm lost for words. So maybe Brian will help me out. I mean, Indaboski for president.
Well, I think we just need to do the reality check. Is Indaboski Nigerian? Does he carry the Nigerian passport or Nigerian? What do we call it? Is he a citizen? Yes, he is. Does he have the right under the Constitution to contest for president? Yes, it does. He does. So if we check all of those things, does he have any criminal charges against him that would bar him from contesting? If he doesn't have, so why do we have to worry about it?
And I know it's not the same thing. I know it's not the same thing. But the first time that Trump announced his presidency and presidency ambitions, we all laughed.
Yes, I was going there. So
it's not the same thing, but we found it comical.
Right. There are so many unusual presidents in the world. You just mentioned Trump. He was just a businessman. He was just always playing all around, and they say he doesn't have that political background. We also have one who is also facing one of the biggest, world superpowers in the country. I mean, in the world, Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, who is a comedian and TV host. I mean, he was, I would say. So, and he's doing, so many things. Idi Amin, even though he had that military background, he didn't have much, educational background, but he became one of the, brutal dictators that we ever recorded in history. I can continue mentioning all of them. So many people who...
Yeah, that may be true. That may be true. But for Indaboski to run for president, a whole lot of Nigerians won't take him seriously.
Don't you want escapism?
And
everyone can be serious.
Miracles. I want tangible policies.
No, he didn't say he's going to perform miracles. Certainly, because he's going to be working with two other arms of government, legislative arm of government and that of judiciary. So he won't be performing miracle. Yes, maybe Nigeria actually needs miracle at this point in time.
But to have those thought processes, of things like that, I don't think he's a candidate at all.
Probably...
And I hate that I've made you guys discuss this, but I'm going to move on
No, maybe he has a Midas touch.
In our final story in international news, in a new twist on immigration policy, the Trump administration is now using a government app that was originally meant to help asylum seekers book appointments as a way for undocumented migrants to self-deport. Now, the app called CPB Home lets migrants submit an intent to depart, which officials say could help them leave the country without facing harsher consequences like arrest or future re-entry bans. Basically, it's a way to get people to leave on their own instead of being forcibly deported. And this is just the latest move in the White House's ongoing crackdown on immigration. I will say that the Homeland Security Secretary has said that this is a humane way to get deportees out of the country. She says if you're an illegal immigrant and you know this and you leave the country, you still have a chance in a future date of coming back into the country legally and living the American dream. They also, this app will also prioritize the welfare of illegal immigrants. They will help them get resources back home and kind of take care of them. So Trump is saying, report yourself before I report you. If you don't deport yourself, I will find you because we have you in our database, hopefully, and you'll be sent back. But I'm going to have time for one tweet. Let's take a look at that. Sovereign Stack says, this is brilliant. Let them self-deport, save taxpayer money, and free up ICE to focus on criminals. Win, win, win. Democrats wanted an app to help illegals get in. Trump turned it into an app to help them get out. You love to see it. Illegal immigration isn't complicated. Simply enforce the law, shut down the border, and make it easy for them to leave. Problem solved. I will say that, Trump has taken a very hardline stance on immigration. And this is a more empathetic and humane approach, don't you think, to allow people to take accountability for their own immigration status.
Yeah, so I think the issue of immigration, no country should allow anyone to illegally migrate to their countries, because even Nigeria deports a whole lot of people out of the country. Obama administration deported so many. Biden administration in the last 1 year, before Trump took over, deported so many people. In fact, he had even done more than what Trump is, talking about. It's just that Trump is, one way or the other, speaks louder than most of his actions. So I guess it's because he's talking more about it. That's why it's an issue. The advice I would also give to people who are illegally immigrated to the US is that they should evict themselves out of the country so that they will have the opportunity to go back to the country, especially when it comes to migrating legally. So I do not see any problem in that.
Yes, well, I'm an illegal immigrant in the United States, and I still want to stay there because I've started a business, and the business is doing well and so on. And I go download an app that says, look, I want to get out of the United States. I'm looking at the acceptance. I don't know how well the people will respond to that. Yes, it might be a humane way of doing it as against the arrest and forceful eviction and all that, but will the immigrants, the illegal immigrants, take advantage of this?
But I will say just a fact for you guys. The app was actually also present during the Biden administration, but it was initially, it was originally planned to help them book appointments and to put them into the database. And so some people are arguing that now that Trump actually has the illegal immigrants, their data, he could forcibly deport them. He's just giving them a chance. But that app has always been there. And the data of these illegal immigrants is still in that app. So he's just being nice. Yeah,
so maybe you don't need to use the app, just go out of the country. And it's also a wake-up call to all of the country world leaders, a lot of the world leaders, to ensure that they work on their countries, they work on their citizens, and citizens should also do a whole lot to participate in nation building for their own, motherland. So it's just a wake-up call. I do not see anything wrong with that.
And we saw India step in a little while ago when Trump was first sworn in and put these hard-line immigration policies in place. We saw India step in and say, we're actually coming in to take our people. No need to send them out, no need to put them on a plane. We are coming in and we are taking about 29,000 of our folks. And it'd be great to see more countries do that.
But that's protecting your national pride of what India did. And it's quite commendable. And also quite commendable is the way you handled your segment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olamide. Thank you very much.
I always have fun with you guys.
All right, my dear. Well, let's tell you that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. That's it on the program today. My name is Odumeje, and thank you for being with us from the beginning till now.